Welcome back to MSNBC's breaking news coverage of an outbreak of tornadoes in Oklahoma today. Several, we still don't even know how many. And actually, I don't know where exactly this storm is. But just to set it up for you, this was taken by Union City. Is that right? Union City, Oklahoma. This was taken by a storm chaser who inadvertently got caught in the storm when it suddenly took a violent turn. And actually, a lot of people got caught today and just simply didn't have enough time to get out of the way. They're honestly lucky to be alive, as you can see from this video. I actually want to pause and take a second just to listen in and see what we can hear.
Oh, like Frogger. Right out at him.
You okay? Yeah. You're fine. Move. Sit down. Duck down. Duck down. Throw the phone if you can. You're good. Right. Oh, shit.
That will scare you.
Well, as you can imagine, there would be some scary, some language in a video like that when they're running for their lives and frightened, and you can hear the power of the wind. You can hear the panic in the voices of the people inside that car as they try to outrun this storm. It just took a very violent and unexpected turn and headed right in their direction. I can't emphasize to you enough that these people all know what they're doing. They're highly trained, and so for them to get caught by surprise like this says a lot in itself. This is Union City, Oklahoma, and you can just really see the size of this debris. You can see, a hay bale the size of a car. It looks like it's on fire. You see that car to the left looks like it was going to be blown right off the road. You can see how fast they're going. And I've got to tell you, we did not speed up this video. This is real time, which gives you an idea of how fast these winds are turning. Their windshield is smashed. They've got debris flying. When you think of the tornado danger, a lot of people automatically go with their mind thinking it's going to suck me up out of my house and fling me for miles. Of course, that is a threat. But the real direct threat in being caught in something like this is what you're looking at right here. Thank goodness none of these people were injured today who took this video. They all made it out okay. Thank God. But fortunately for us, we actually get to see some video for the first time of what this really, really does look like.
Telling our students about the program they were going to have for them over the summer, and as soon as we had come back into the room, our principal had come over the intercom and stated that, we need to get into our tornado precaution procedures, and that this was not a drill. And I have to tell you, we kind of moved a little bit ahead of time anyway, just because so many children were being checked out. So by the time that happened, I was down to about 10 kids.
Wow.
So we immediately went up against our inside wall and, got down on our knees and, put your head down and your hands over your head. And then we just, waited. You could actually hear it well before it hit the building. And then as it came to the building, it just started pulling at it and pulling at it. And of course, the children were very, very frightened and scared. And we just huddled together and put my arms around them, told them everything was going to be okay. Just please keep your head down. And, some of them were saying their prayers. I was saying my prayers. And
Teresa,
came off and cinders just started falling down.
I need to interrupt you for just a second, and I want to continue to hear that story, but I want to listen into some of the video that we're just getting in from storm chasers, and I need to point out that they are driving backwards, as you saw another car driving backwards, trying to get pictures of the storm and stay out of its path at the same time. This is earlier today in Oklahoma. Let's listen in.
It goes out to those folks, and we were, as trackers, we try to do as much as we can to put the word out, and I don't know if we could have put the word out any more than we have. We've been talking for days and days and days that this could probably happen. But that's why you've got to heed these warnings. Don't sit there and wait for it to come, or if you're on the highway and you don't feel comfortable, get off and turn around and go the other way.
What direction are you looking right here? That road's going...
We're looking due north here.
That road goes due north.
Yeah, and as that vortex began to widen out, Mike, I was really getting concerned, and we could actually feel it start to suck the truck back. And I know Reed had his hood taken off, and Emily and Kevin ran into that situation today as well.
You can see it actually getting closer to you, even though you're backing away from it. It's actually getting closer to you.
And of course we had people behind us also backing up and trying to turn around in the middle of the road. So it was a white knuckle ride for sure. And then as we get turned around, Kevin hangs the camera off the side. But you get to a point where you've got to bail out of this thing and really get going. So that's just
A house that has been completely demolished, Scott. The roof of the 6,000 square feet home is on the lawn. There is debris everywhere. And this is Robert Weiss. He is the owner of this home, and this is Mrs. Weiss. In fact, we asked him if we can go inside the house so he can show us. He said inside is even more devastation. So you want to come inside with us and tell me where we're seeing? What are we seeing here, Mr. Weiss? What do you see inside your house? Oh, my goodness. This is a big...
That was the ceiling. See, that roof's all gone there.
That whole roof?
Yeah, every bit of that's gone.
And it's all sitting inside your house?
That's right.
Where is the worst damage, sir, do you think?
Well, this and this front porch here is the worst.
The front porch is the worst?
See, this is all gone, too.
Oh, dear me. Is this house at all livable, Mr. Weiss?
Not right now, it ain't.
That was video from our affiliate KDSK in St. Louis, and you could see the devastation to that house. The roof completely off the living room. That is in St. Louis. They're still not sure if those were tornadoes there or straight line winds. They'll probably find out more tomorrow. Probably find a lot more damage as well. But this is from earlier in Oklahoma, where storm chasers captured some absolutely unbelievable video from these storms that broke out in Oklahoma today. Joining us on the phone is storm chaser Reed Timmer. And you are one of the people who were out there endangering your own lives, really, as this thing took a sudden and violent turn to get us these pictures.
Well, no, I mean, we've been doing this for 16 years, so I actually never felt in danger. It was a completely controlled environment for us. We have an armored vehicle, an armored research vehicle that's covered with 16-gauge steel. It has hydraulics and spikes that anchor us into the ground, completely designed for science. And there was not one point where we felt in danger of the tornado and anticipated a left-hand turn. However, there were a bunch of storm chasers that were in the path of the tornado as it grew, and we stayed behind the tornado at that point. And that's why we have the armored vehicles in case you get in those situations where you also don't have an escape route. But it also gives us an opportunity to be up close to these tornadoes to assess how strong they are and provide a unique perspective, because our number one priority is to warn people in the path of these storms. And the last thing we ever want to do is become victims of the tornado itself. Our goal is to save lives. And through our research and building these vehicles, we're trying to see how strong the wind speeds get, and those suction vortices that you're seeing in the video, which could be theoretically 400 or 500 miles per hour on the real small scales. And if we know those wind speeds, we can better design homes to withstand those types of winds. And the damage that these storms leave behind is the dark side of storm chasing, but it's also what we're trying to prevent. And thankfully, as far as I know so far, no storm chasers have lost their lives, but I hope that a lot of the amateur storm chasers, at least, that put themselves in that position learned a lesson, because, making mistakes is just another word for getting
parking garages, homes. We are going to see flooding as a big issue for several days. And in fact, the Mississippi and Missouri rivers are going to crest early next week. We're looking at about Tuesday or Wednesday for those flood stages to get to near record levels, as high as they were back in 1995, which was huge, huge flooding in the St. Louis area. So that's going to be an added concern just because of all of the water we've seen.
We want to go to Garrett Occupenti, who is on the phone, and you're going to have to let me know. Oh, you are the one who shot this video that we're looking on. That is probably the biggest wall cloud cloud I've ever seen in my life. You shot that?
Yes, it was.
It's practically on the ground.
Yeah, the initial report, I think there was a tornado at the time, but we couldn't really see it from our view from there, but it sure looks mean.